Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. I am not alone. I am joined by Cruisin'. Welcome back to the channel, my man. How you doing?
Very fine, bro. Very fine. Christmas. We love to eat. We love to play. Perfect time.
Indeed, man. I'm ready for my New Year's resolution because I've been stuffing my face. I was telling you off air, and I feel like crap, like I'm sure a lot of people out there do, but I'm happy to get you on. And man, I love it when we're cruising together. You know that song, my brother? I love it when we're cruising together. I try to define cringe over here, my bro. I'm gonna try to define cringe, the definition. I can't think of your name or say your name or even read your name in Discord without singing that song in the background. It puts me in that, and your personality and your mood and your vibes, it fits it. You're just a chill dude. I love. By the way, Cruisin' is at like 6.4 thousand subscribers, 6.3. Let's get him to 8K, because if there's anything that we need in Raid, we need Cruisin' on the dev build, because he's the innovator. You're a top player. Actually, you're number 2 right now, Cruisin'.
Yeah.
In the world. Usually I can say the number 1 player in the world on these video titles, but you're letting me down, bro.
Yeah.
You're a perennial number 1 player in the game, in live arena, in everything arena, on the Doc Moreau or your own account as well. Just insane knowledge, and everybody loves. This is the 3rd time I've had you on. Everybody loves when I have you on. I love selfishly when I have you on. We're gonna dissect everything that you know about Raid for my viewers here in today's video. But I say all that to say, dude, guys, gals, we need to go get him to 8,000 subscribers so we can get him the dev build access on his YouTube channel. So I'm trusting the Ash holes out there.
I would like you to withdraw my name because I don't want to be a part of it.
The Ash Army. I don't know what to call my viewers, but I'm trusting you guys to very worthy of your subscription. Tons of stuff on your YouTube channel. Cruisin', sorry, that was like a 2-minute intro. Ready to get to it. What do you have to talk about today, my man?
Let's talk about supports.
Let's talk about supports. All right. Now we're gonna do the old school best support. And what I would love to do, if you have the time, is talk about what you think is the best support, who you think is the best support in every faction, and then maybe give a call out to a lesser, not a lesser known, but like not who would come to mind as the number 1. So we can talk about the best, but also talk about maybe some unsung heroes along the way. Is that cool?
Okay, sure.
And I'm also going to ask you quickly how to build these champions. Like, what's your favorite build on all these champions? So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna dissect Cruisin', the mind of Cruisin' today. Want to start Bannerlords?
Let's go.
All right, best support. I mean, Mariska, you want me to start for you?
The interesting part is that, in fact, we have a Mythico support here.
I have him on the screen right now. Androck as well. Okay.
But for sure,
yeah.
I will not pick him.
You hate Androck?
No.
Okay.
I personally don't hate him.
Good.
But I will only choose this champion for something if this something is Chimera.
Yes.
If it is not Chimera or Hydra, maybe I wouldn't choose him for nothing.
I use him in both areas. I don't want to spend a lot of time on mythicals, but it's really cool to use him for all that turn meter fill on Chimera and then switch like in the very beginning of each form to hit those debuffs on the second form. But talk about Mariska, man.
Yeah, the first pick, no doubt, is Mariska here. Brother, her kit is absolutely amazing. She doesn't even need towers. She by herself.
Will you call me if you need me?
It's incredible. If we're talking about arena, she's the counter of the speed meta, or the counter of the bomb meta, the counter of everything.
Get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks great.
She does. She does.
She has one of the strongest A1s out there. Her A1 is basically A3 of many other legendaries. And her A2 is just the best healing of the game constantly.
Yep.
Her A3 is absolutely an amazing turn mid boost and a cleanser at the same time. And do I need to talk about her passive?
No, we know how busted she is. I think I know your favorite build on Mariska. Is it Relentless Stoneskin?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
No doubt.
All right, cool.
This one,
cool.
no doubt.
Yeah, I learned that from you 6 months ago. All right. You generally speaking, do you like your supports in Relentless? Like What do you look for in a relentless a relentless support champion?
If he does not play debuffs like Marichka, she has no debuffs on the kit. The only thing I seek for is HP and speed, more speed than HP, but it's very important to have both. Survivability in a champion like that, this is important. So you want her fast, and you want her to survive something after she does something. So HP and defense is good. HP more than defense.
Okay, perfect. Who's your unsung pick here in Bannerlords?
I have a huge influence here on this pick. The second champion that I think is the best support of this faction is Kaja.
Ooh, Kaja?
Yeah.
I guessed her. I had her on the screen again. I'm pretty good at this here. No big deal. Talk about Kaja, man.
Bro, this is a pure influence of Biohack. Another.
I was just going to give him a shout out too, because I faced freaking Biohack in live arena and he smokes me with Kaja and I hate it. But yeah, you're right.
This champion, it was meant to be a support classic way, but her base speed and the turn meat boost of her 8-3 is enough to be a speed booster. So she does kind of arbiter thing. You know, she speed boosts and she revives, which is everything a support needs for many, many places. Arena, mostly, it's vital to have that. Revive, cleans, and turn mid boost. But you can also play her in almost any danger or content that you need a revive and a turn mid boost. That's almost everywhere.
Yeah.
So she plays the role really well. If it wasn't for the turn mid boost, I think I would pick Ragling instead of her.
Okay.
But because of the turn mid boost, I choose Kaja. Biohack.
I love it.
That's on New York.
Shout out. Let's keep it moving because we have a long list to go here. But I agree with you on Kaja. Chimera too, like great reviver with that turn meter boost in there. You know what I hate? Only one thing. I said I'm going to keep it moving, and here I am going backwards. The one thing I hate on Kaja, bro, is the revive on the A2. You know, like, why'd they put it on the A3, man? Like that, you know? Did you ever bother you, or did you not care at all?
I didn't care that much, as long as it's there.
I hear you. But doesn't that throw you off? It throws me off. I'm like, why is the revive? It's always the A3. Anyway, all right. I'm alone there.
I want the man with OCD.
Go to High Elves, my man. Who's your number one support in High Elves?
This one I got no doubt. He has support twice in his role. That is Galatir, no doubt on that.
Okay, that's
probably
he's the best in the game.
Yeah, probably the best in the game.
We'll be quick on the mythicals, you know, because I don't want to spend a ton of time. But what's your favorite Star Sage Galathir build? Obviously, he's got the cleanse, he's got the block debuffs, he's got the perfect veil, he's got the revive, he's got the resistance, he's got the broken passives, he's got all the lockouts on the base form, he's got the turn meter boost. I don't know what else to say, but quick thoughts on Star Sage.
Bro, he is one of the hardest champion to build, not because of how we're gonna build him. The hardest choice is to choose.
Right.
Because everything's perfect.
Everything he does, everything. Perfect. Yeah.
But at the moment, I think the best way to build him is in Supersonic and Stone Skin. That build makes the difference, a lot of difference.
Okay, 4 and 5.
Yeah. It can be 4 and 4 if you don't have 4 and 5. But 4, it's 4 of each pieces. It's what really makes the difference. And if you can't 2 turns Stone Skin, or 1 turn Stone Skin, 1 turn Pinpoint, or 9 pieces of Pinpoint, or 6 pieces of Pinpoint, everything on this champion is good. Everything. Poor speed, poor HP. Like, he's perfect.
He is absolutely busted. His resistance with the accuracy, like everything about him, it just feels broken and unfair. I have mine in Stone Skin and 2 Righteous, but maybe I'll switch to Supersonic.
Mine is also that way, but Supersonic is better.
Yeah. Okay. Who other than the mythical? This is interesting after that, right? It becomes a little bit more of a conversation here.
Yeah. The second champion I would pick here, it's a champion that everybody got. Arbiter.
Yep.
None but Arbiter.
Yep.
She's an old school champion, like since the game started, but she's still one of the queens. one of the queens of this game. She has the speed aura. She has the turn mid boost 30%, bro. It's like perfect. A lot of Legos and Mythicals don't have 30% as turn mid boost, and she does. She also has the attack up and the heal in the same skill. She has the revive in area. She has a buff decrease on the A2. She has the weaken on the A1. So her kit is extremely powerful. Even 5 years old champion can be as much updated as her is. It's amazing a champion to survive 5 years without getting debuffed and things like that, and still be a meta champion. And this champion is Arbiter.
Completely agree. It's so cool. I mean, you said everything best, man. But the double speed boost, the extra turn on the revive, the polymorph proof A2, like she continues to, without any buffs, she continues to kind of evolve naturally with the game, which is right because she's Arbiter, you know? So
yeah.
There we go. Any unsungs that you want to mention here? Or do you want to move on to the next faction?
Yeah, the new champion, Prisma.
Ooh, okay. What do you? I wanted this guy so bad. What do you think of him?
Me too.
Obviously,
These guys has the chance of giving you new funny ways to do things. You know, the ally attack with the possibility of the extra turn brings some champions that were not in the meta, crazy meta, to be a viable option. Like even epics like Phoenix that have a crazy, stupid A1 to delete a champion and have a second turn to delete another champion. And maybe you can have, for example, another chosen after it to have another turn and delete a third champion. And things like that. This champion can make you have new funny ways to do at your battles.
I really wanted him because, to your point, I don't know if he's the best champion in the game or anything like that, but man, he's got a killer revive. It's 4-turn, but a killer revive in terms of the stats and the perfect veil. And then that shining blitz, man. And he looks so badass too. He's just like, I love that shield. I just love the aesthetic, the royal blue. That's a good call out. Do you have him on any account?
No, I tried. I tried on both accounts, but didn't got it.
Okay.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Sacred Order time, man. Who we got here? Who's number 1?
I want to put Siegfried because...
Oh, that's a curveball. Yeah, you're right, though.
His support form is the only mythical form that we can't use freely. So I don't even consider this champion a support because we don't have the chance of choosing when he's a support. So I'm not going to put Siegfried. I think the best support in this faction is actually the fusion that we are having right now. Is Noelle. Lady Noelle itself.
Ooh, I love that you're high on Lady Noelle. I was also a big fan. Talk to me a little bit. People have heard my opinion on her. Why do you like her so much?
I think, first of all, her AoE revive with 3 turns cooldown, bro. This is by itself already insane. You can bring all your team back in 2 turns, long duration with the 3 turns cooldown. It's
with a pretty good revive. I mean, yeah, it's one of the strongest. It's got to be one of the strongest AoE revives in the game, right?
I think it's the only revive that at the same time you revive. After you revive, you're gonna have the chance of landing a debuff. So it's
on a 3-turn, right?
Yeah. And it's not something that puts you in danger, because if the debuff it was before the revive, you could get polymorphed or proc something that you don't want before it revives. But no, she first revives, she does everything in the perfect order. She first revives, that is her role. Then she puts a debuff. And this debuff can give you the time to make the action with the champion that is revived.
Yeah.
I think her kit is absolutely amazing just because of that skill. But she also has the other parts of her skill, like the ship removal, the interactions with Sir Nick that might be very helpful in the early game and mid game for most of the players, and maybe crazy strategies in the end game. So that makes her, at the moment, the best support full time of this faction.
What do you think on so I love her so much with Sir Nick, because having that freeze land on a on a Siphi and Duchess with protected block debuffs is so satisfying, but Sir Nick is so like he's old. He did not age like Arbiter, let's put it that way, right? Even though you can really make the most out of him with the instant activation of that A2, to be fair. But where does your stance on using them, if you're lucky enough to have both of them, like what do you see in the end game? Are anybody using them together, or are they just using Lady Noelle?
They can use together in strategies on Classic Arena, probably.
Yep.
Because of the constants of the unkillable. That might possible turn a thing possible that's to be permanently unkillable on Classic Arena, that you control at least what you are facing on the other side. So it is possible with these two champions to keep it forever, and the other two for sure. So I think that's a guaranteed place you might use them on endgame. But the clan boss strategies, that widget I just showed a composition with of these two champions doing clan boss Ultranite for very, very early game with our very early game champions. If one thing, only one word change on Sir Nicholas Kit, that would be amazing. That is protected unkillable. If that happened,
right,
he would be amazing.
In my guide, I had him in a 5-piece protection just for the chance of having the protected unkillable, even 25%, because that's so strong when it does happen. What's your favorite build? I forgot to ask you, first of all, Arbiter triple speed, or like all out speed? Lady Noelle, what's your favorite build for her?
2-turn Stone Skin. She's one of the few champions that I prefer her in 2-turn Stone Skin, even sacrificing a second set. Okay. She's so good with that, to having the possibility of having 2 turns. You might revive and take someone of the sheep with this almost guaranteed 2 turns of existence in the battle.
Okay, 2-turn Stone Skin. Who's your unsung here?
Here I have a huge doubt, because there is a champion that I love and I own, and there's a champion that I might love and I don't own.
Maud?
Maud.
Okay, got it. Yep. I'm with you there. I might love her and I don't own as well.
Yeah.
But she seems cool.
Maud, Maud Kit. It's very, very intriguing, because she can do almost everything a support needs. The cleans passive way, it's like amazing.
Right.
Tuanarak feelings.
Tuanarak, right there. Yeah.
Yeah. At the same time, the full team revive, it's really, really good. Really, really good. And with the increased defense and all the things, increased attack, that is a really good thing for a revive, to bring your champion with something more than just turn meter and some part of the turn meter in their health. Something to add up, that's really good. And a thing that for me is really important, it's her affinity. To be a red affinity champion, force affinity, it's really good at this meta, because we have a superiority in number of blue affinity champions in the meta. So being a red affinity champion is an advantage for tankers and supports, not for nukers. Nukers, that's not good. But for tankers and supports, affinity champions are better to have affinity than have a non-affinity void. You know, to have a tanker in affinity is better than have a void tanker.
Yeah.
That's the opposite for the nukers.
Okay. Maud, when you do get her, how are you going to build her?
Probably I will build her in Stone Skin or Immunity or Feral. Okay. And if I couldn't, I will go with 2 turns of Stone Skin also.
Okay. I do want to mention, because you mentioned Siegfried, I saw your guide on him, and you said the #1 best way to build Siegfried in the game is Feral Stone Skin, right?
Feral and Savage.
Feral Savage, my bad. Stone Skin, that would be a terrible, leaving a lot of damage on the table. Feral and Savage, which surprised me because of the lack of Stone Skin, but it makes sense given his passive and his protection that he has. So I switched mine after you said that, so good call out there. All right.
I'm receiving a lot of positive results with that. People are doing great with that build, which is good. It counters the meta. It's
Yeah.
a situational build that counters the meta, so it works.
Yeah. Okay, Barbarian time, man.
Barbarians. I think the best support here.
I'm curious on this one.
Nah, I have to go with him. I need to go with him. It's Armand.
Okay, so interesting. I wasn't sure if you would qualify Armands as a support. Tell us why you chose Armands.
Yeah, I went straight to his role because the game defined him as a support itself.
That's true. That's very true. It's right there. I wasn't sure if you consider him a support, even though it says literally support. But yeah, you think intuitively like revivers and healers and cleansers.
Yeah.
But you're right. He's a support, and I cannot disagree.
It so does not.
Every champion that we choose to now, they had one thing in common, or they revived or cleansed or boosted.
Yeah.
Armand does not do any of them.
But he sure as hell supports your team in his own way, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has a unique way.
So we're all familiar with Armands. What is your favorite build on Armands?
Full speed champion.
Got you.
If you can't go full speed, go slower, Stone Skin, and Supersonic, but as fast as you can.
Okay.
You're gonna lose some stats to get the bonus of the set.
When in doubt, this is kind of a niche question, but hopefully it's not that stupid, but I'm a king of asking stupid questions, do you find yourself opening up with the A3 or the A2 more often? Now, there's some obvious things, like if no one's protected by anything, you're just going to go A2, obviously. But how do you choose when maybe like there's 2 Stone Skin and, like depending on the team, how are you making that decision?
The threat on the other side. If he's a champion that if he has his turn, single champion that he has his turn.
Like a Marius.
Yeah, like a Marius, like Odin, like for example, I'm faster than his speed booster. And he got a Shuzen and a Siegfried on the other side.
Yep.
If the Siegfried lightsaber me, I'm dead.
You gotta, yeah. So if you know the next turn is gonna be your fail, you take them out with the for my next trick because it's a sure thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this champion with the new relic Chrono Cube, he's going to be a powerhouse.
I don't have
more
it,
than
so remind us what it does.
With this relic, you're gonna have 2 turns in a row, and you're gonna skip the next turn. So you're gonna be able to start with the A3, have a guaranteed Exaton to use the A2,
dude.
and after the A2, if you had your Exaton, you're gonna lose the turn without an action, but you already did 2 actions in a row with a champion that has 2 amazing skills.
I'm groaning because he's already so annoying, unless he's on your team. Do you still draft Armands first or not anymore?
No, not anymore. Marius is my first pick in very, very powerful accounts. I go for Marius. In not very powerful accounts, I still go for Armands. Armands is like crazy good.
Who's your number 2 here? I have a guess. I have her on the screen.
He only has 1 eye, but he compensates it. Odin.
Okay. I keep thinking I went for Freya because I see a lot of people using Freya a little bit more often, but I was thinking too myopically in the support category again. Odin is so busted, right? Isn't he like, if it wasn't for Armands, I feel like Odin would just be like 100% pick or whatever, in terms of control. Tell us about Odin, why you love him so much.
Bro, if I do not pick Marius, if I do not pick Armands, I pick Odin's as first pick.
Yeah.
Just one team. He has one magical team that only I think 2 champions got. Only 2 champions got this team with them. Mm-hmm. He can be a support and he can be a nuker with the same build. And only rare amount of champions can do that. So having this possibility, he's like a Joker, Yep. He can be the 3rd nuker, he can be the 3rd support, he can be the first support, the first nuker, he can be everything. He does damage, he does CC, he does revive, he has the aura, he's void, and he has only 1 eye. Imagine if he had 2.
Right? It is. I love that. I love the call out. Again, he's an annoying champion to go against, super fun to use. It's just like going against combinations where the enemy team doesn't even have a reviver, but now in the game, or a traditional reviver, but now in the game you can have like a Marichka and an Odin and a Lazarius, and you're just like, dude, they're reviving every champion are nukers and buff removers. It's the evolution of Raid, and it's pretty nasty. Is your favorite build still Stone Skin Pinpoint on Odin, or is it just all speed? Or okay.
The best is still Stone Skin and Pinpoint, but if you have crazy gear, you can go like triple speed on him and still manage to do something good, and maybe a Pinpoint and a lot of speed. Pinpoint is the best set on him, no doubt, but to have the security of the safety of the Stone Skin is really good on him. And he's a champion that needs a lot of things like speed, accuracy, critical damage, critical hate, a lot of things.
Do you, this is a general question, when you're going to put like stones, when you're going to build a champion with that much protection, with the Pinpoint, the Intercept, and the Stone Skin, do you just gravitate towards Lightning Cage as well?
For a champion like this, if it's not a 6-star soul, I will probably grab Lightning Cage. Okay. If it is a 6-star soul, I'm going to risk a Polymorph or Intimidate Presence, probably.
Okay.
Depending on the champion, Temporal Chains.
Okay. Let's move on to Ogryn. Who you got here? This is an interesting one.
That's the hardest one to choose.
Yeah, this is a weird one too, because you could go Gizmak, you know?
Yeah, I think my first choice it will be Gizmak, but he's not.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Something never changed.
His support form is not really support. You know?
Yeah.
He's more a different kind of nuker.
If anything, his HP form feels more supporty with the A3, right? But okay. Well, yeah, I don't want to talk for you. You talk.
Yeah, I think the best support that you're gonna use on this faction is no doubt Gizmak. Gizmak is one of the strongest champions in the game.
Yep.
But he has the role of support. Is his first form. That's his role as support. But he does not play as support. We do not play him as a support. He does actually buff your team for critical damage, critical hate. He does put the HP burn on everybody, put the slow, break the Stone Skins if you have enough HP burns out there. That's a support role. Yes, it is. It's not going to kill anybody with that, or at least shouldn't. But it's not your main goal usually with this champion. At the same time, this faction lacks at good supports. It's one of the factions that it will be hard to choose.
Right? You can even say stock with the continuous heal activation or something, you know?
Yeah. If I would choose a secondary champion, if I'm going to choose a champion more focused on PvE, I would choose Gurptuk, the fusion, the champion that we use for a lot of speedruns. He's on the best or second best.
I'm sorry, who'd you say?
Gurptuk.
Oh, Gurptuk. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you did. I'm like, okay, cool.
If I was going to choose PvE content,
yeah.
If I'm going to choose PvE and PvP at the same time, I would go for stock.
Okay. I was like, I like my guy Stock. I would go with Stock. I love Stock. Really impressed me, man. I don't know about you, but like, I really he's a cool blend of a activator that we didn't have, previously. But I'm looking at Grazer support. No, he's defense. What do you think of Korrigar, man? Like, well, I guess technically he's not a support. He kind of let me down. I mean, good champion, but kind of like, I feel like these champions with the ally protect strengthen, they're kind of a dime a dozen now,
I hate him, but not because he's a bad champion or something. It's because of the synchronous waves.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, this is your video, not mine. Gizmak, is it pinpoint? Are you going pinpoint savage or something? Or lethal?
Triple pinpoint, 9 pieces, sorry. 9 pieces of pinpoint would be the best build for him, in my opinion, but a very hard one to do. If you can't go this way, I would go Stone Skin and pinpoint. If you can't go this way, I would go pinpoint and savage. And if you can't go this way, I would go savage and pinpoint. Oh, okay. Sorry, Stone Skin and pinpoint.
Okay. I gotcha. Any other, what do you, man, if you would, like, there's a lot of that should be really good supports. They're just like kind of meh, if you could see a buff to anybody, who would it be? Maybe like Bell Eater Mage Slayer. Like, I feel like he should be good for a Void Legendary, and he's kind of just
Yeah, I think if the Shamrock champion
Okay, good old
had a
Shamrock.
revive on his kit, he could be interesting. He
Okay.
has like incredible amount of buffs, like 5 buffs in one skill. It's like crazy
That's
good.
true.
But they chose to give him a passive revive. That is the revive on
The
death
Red Death, yeah.
instead of an active revive. If this champion had an active way of reviving, I think he could be a really good support champion, because that amount of buffs, like increase defense, increase speed, increase critical rate, continues you, and
Yep.
a revive on death, something like that. And in the other skill, if instead of decrease the speed, he could actually revive a champion, I think he would be amazing.
That's a good call out, man. Good old Shamrock, oldie but a goodie.
Old.
All right, cool. Let's keep it moving here for Stock. What's your favorite build on him?
Right now, I would go full speed on
Okay.
him in most of the occasions. You can go like if
Perception.
you're using perception to have some extra accuracy. It's interesting. If in fact you use him on the Classic Arena reset, that he's on the most of the strongest teams on the Classic Arena reset because of his passive. He is a natural counter to Marichika's passive with his own passive.
Yeah.
So people can break her unkillable, can break the Stone Skin through her block damage, sorry. And it brought this champion directly to the main offense teams on the Classic Arena. So you could use him full speed, Stone Skin, any other build. It's interesting for him. But enough speed and enough accuracy, it's what he needs.
Okay. Lizardmen time. Cruising. Who you got here, man? I'll take a guess.
The first one, no doubt. I think.
Oh,
the
I should.
strongest-
I keep missing the mythicals. I keep going down the legendaries. All right. Yeah. Lazarius.
Lazarus, no doubt.
Oh,
This
so-
champion
yeah.
is like everything in one package at the same time. He's like the other champion besides Odin that can do the same things at the same time to be the support with everything, literally everything on the kit, and still nukes everybody with the same build. It's like an incredible champion. He has the base speed, he has the aura, he has the strength to increase turn meat, decrease turn meat on the enemy, increase attack on your team, the revive passively, like crazy. The buff removal, the block buffs on you, it's like just the first one that I told everything.
Right? You haven't even touched the second form yet. Yep.
Yes, and on the second form, he can destroy and melt everybody and reset the enemy skills with passive effect. AoE.
Ridiculous.
AoE, really strong skill, double hit a single target that ignores almost everything. And A1 that will give you gradually more damage. So this champion is absolutely amazing. He is a masterpiece. He's actually
I totally agree. I find this champion like the only knock. It's not even a knock. It's kind of like Star Sage. Like it's how do you build him? Because he's so fast with the speed aura that you could be like, and the speed booster that you could be like, yeah, just put him in your best speed gear. Or you could build him all out. You want to do so many things with him. So how do you prefer building?
There is a build that is really hard to do, but it's actually the best build for him. Is how almost every top player is building him. That is the fastest champion that you can with the damage items on speed set. For example, you bring a critical hate glove, the fastest you can.
Yep.
The fastest attack chest, the fastest speed boot with critical hate, and the fastest shield with one roll or at least having the critical hate on the stats and things like that for him to have critical damage, as you can have on the amulet and other things passively. You don't put anything focused on critical damage, but you're gonna have some critical damage. You're gonna have full critical hate and the most amount of speed you can. This way, he can be your speed booster at the same time. When
Whatever
you
you
transform,
need.
he's still going to nuke.
Yep. Okay. I love that call out. That's a fun build to build a nuker in, like your best speed gear. You know, I used to do that back in the day with like a Nithri Blood Twin, and just be like, can I just get in there and pop off their nuker right away and deny revive? You know, so it's fun when you can pull it off. Okay, this is a tough one when you go beyond that, though, right? Because I mean, Kriska's technically defense, but he's got some stuff. But who is it? I think it might be this dude. Who's your second favorite?
Right now, the best champion at second position for this faction is Sulfurion.
Okay.
Sulfurion is like amazing PvE wise. He's all in HP burn champion that can proc the HP burn himself, like amazing. At the same time, he boosts your turn meter with that, like insane.
Yep.
He also has a revive at the kit, so if something goes wrong, he can still be there to revive. That's what a support do.
Right. I see him a lot being used more and more in Chimera as well. For your to your point with the revive, the damage, and the turn meter, you know.
Yeah, but there is one, I think, for Chimera, Nekmota is the top support of this faction. In fact, he's in the top teams out there.
Indeed.
Because the amount of trials he can do. At the same time, he provides a lot to your team. So
let's talk about Nekmo a little bit. Yeah. Sulfurion and Nekmo, really quickly on Sulfurion, your favorite build is?
Sulfurion full speed. Full speed.
Nekmo?
If you can put pinpoint, better. Nekmo, I think I would put him 4 pieces of reflex, 4 pieces of merciless.
Okay. So get as much damage because he's doing damage on both of his abilities. You're getting the reset of the A2 and the A3 to keep him going to get more out of that motor.
Yeah, I would focus more on the speed and the accuracy. Fair enough for him to land what you want him to land. If you can give him damage, it's the best of the both worlds. But focus more on the speed and the accuracy. It's everything that you need for him to do his role. You cycle very fast through his ability. He already got a lot of extra turn just because of his natural kit. So you're gonna give your team so much. Decrease the speed on the enemy, increase the speed on you, leech on the enemy, decrease attack on the enemy, and speed up on you, and keep that rotating a lot.
He's really the ultimate. I said motor, but he really is. Like you said, the 30%, the speed with the 30% turn meter, and the extra turn, and the decreased speed. I mean, you just said it, and the rune of haste. He's a cool little lizard. I love that he's so good in the new content as well. Man, I feel like we could be here all day on Lizardmen, because even like Pythion, for some of the reasons that you said earlier, like a force tank, it's hard to get rid of. There's a lot of good ones there, but in the interest of time, let's actually. We didn't even say anything about Feedy Chillcrest either. Man, this is stacked, this faction, you know? Do you have Feedy?
No, I don't have. He's on the event right now, but I don't have shards.
Yes, and me neither. All right, let's move it on. Skinwalker time. Who do we have here for your number one best support in Skinwalkers?
Bro, for me, this faction has some supports, like 3.
Yep.
But in fact, it only has one that is really, really, really good. That is Yuko, Mighty Yuko.
Mighty Yuko. Yeah. He's a cool little champ. He still has it, you know? Why do you like him so much?
He was the king of Live Arena when Live Arena came out. Like, everybody fight to have this champion as first pick. He was the Armand of his era.
I know. Was it just the change of the A2?
Yeah.
That made him, because he used to get a double stun on this, or double shot and stun sets.
Yeah, it was 2 things at the same time, because at the same patch, they fixed his A2, they buffed and nerfed Polymorph. So they killed him twice in the same patch.
But he's still cool, and he's very versatile, right? Like, you could use him as a control stun champion in wave content. You could use him in Hydra. He's a beast because of the A2, and he can revive, which is nice. Even that totem warding, man, that's like that totem warden. That's a sneaky little passive, you know, and as well, that can be really annoying with the protection added to it, you know.
I faced one this week.
Oh yeah,
that was built just in resistance and stone skin, and he was very, 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 very slow. But
Okay.
he
So he just
kept,
stood there and stole from you.
yeah, when I was buffing myself, he was stealing my teams, and he kept alive for many, many turns. Then he had
Yeah.
his turn
There's
finally.
no cooldown on that totem warden either. Then
Yeah.
he took his turn and he took everything off. Dude.
No, he revived everybody that I killed with block damage, and they had their turn and killed me.
Oh my word. I love that. I love when niche champions can like surprise you. It almost feels cool. You're, like even when you lose, you're always hats off. So what's your favorite build on Muddy Uko?
Right now, Pinpoint and Stone Set. They're both together. His Stew's very powerful. You can win a battle just by having him this way. Even a counter attack proccing on him is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you might stun everybody and take their buffs, put attack down and things like that, which is really powerful. Really, really powerful.
Very dynamic champion. For PvE, like for Hydra, how would you run him there? What set would you run him there?
The same build as Nekmoth.
Okay.
I think Merciless and Reflex, just to rotate a lot between his skills, because everything on his kit is good on Hydra. The decreased attack of the A1, the buff removal of the A2, and the revive of the A3. So you want him to have all the skills all the time. So rotating a lot between them with the Reflex and the Merciless proccing every time that they can, it will be really, really good for you.
Okay. Any other shout outs in Skinwalkers?
Bro, it's hard to choose a second one, but if I would choose a second one, it would be Loriaka. I think out of the options as we have as supports on this faction.
This is a good call out because she got a buff and she was really bad before the buff.
Yeah. But she's interesting, general, because of the turn meat manipulation she can put. Like, she can fuse a lot her turn meter, and at the same time she fuse a lot her turn meter because of her 8-3. She gonna fuse your team turn meter also. So well played. On PvE content, she can rotate really good with that turn meter constantly being pumped up by her. That she's probably the second best support of this faction.
I love that call out, man. I love her Hoofbeats passive and how it just synergizes with everything else, right? Constant turn meter fill, and every time an ally buff is removed, transferred, stolen, or expires, with the turn meter fill, with the 2 buffs that she's bringing herself, she's a great little unsung hero. So that's a good call out there. Any particular favorite build on Lauricia?
If I would use her mainly on PvE content, I think just enough speed and some survivability is good. But you also can use her to do some damage because she has an AoE that is really interesting. And while doing that, she does decent amount of damage. Not the strongest damage, but decent amount of damage. So you can put some damage on her if you can. She won't be bad while doing it.
Good call out there. She's attack based, right? Yeah. Attack based, but you're right. She's got like kind of that Ghostborn-esque base stats, right? With like maybe a little bit less than that, but some sneaky damage in there. Orc time, man. Who you got? Who's number 1 in the Orcs?
No doubt, the Warlord itself.
Yeah, good old Warlord. Talk about an old school Void who still got it, right?
He was the king, and he still is out there. He still's out there.
Do you use Warlord in live arena?
In my own account, he's my second most picked champion.
Oh wow, okay, great. What about Doc Moreau?
On Doc, I do not pick him because we play more offense. When I'm playing Doc, he has the superiority almost against every player.
Everybody.
So I play on the offense.
Okay.
You know? I'm going to try to win and win fast. When I play my account, I say, oh, I'm not as fast as him. I might try something else.
So your main account reflects everybody, and Doc Moreau reflects the one player in the world with the best gear and the best champions. I got you. All right. This is cool. So tell us why you love Warlords so much and how you like to build them.
The build, no doubt, the best build for him is Sunskin and Supersonic. 0 doubts. And when you're doing that, you ask for God for your opponent to pick Sifi.
Yes, to get that massive supersonic boost. Do you, generally speaking, do you build, whether it's a Crixio, whether it's a Warlord, your Mecha, whoever you're building as a lockout, do you love them in that build, the supersonic, to try to get in front?
On Krixia and Warlord, yes. On Yumeko, I prefer a different approach.
Okay.
Since Tijared has her passive, like to deflect some things on the not deflect, to be immune of some things because of her veil, I prefer her with a lot of resistance and decent amount of accuracy.
Okay.
Because she can resist the Krixia or the Warlord and refresh your entire team while refreshing your taking away your opponent's skills.
Okay.
She turns the table really fast.
That's a good call out. I'm sure we'll talk about her in a bit. So, Warlord, you like Stone Skin Supersonic?
Yeah.
Okay. And
no doubt, that's the best build for him.
It's just so nasty that he has the full cooldown lockout and the turn meter. And then he comes in with like a great A2, like as a complementary ability, right?
Yeah, right now his A2 is really interesting because, for example, if your enemy has a Marius and he uses A3, the Marius is going to counterattack, take half of your entire team HP. And okay, he didn't even had a turn, and he already took half of my HP. I'm gonna need to heal.
Yep.
So when you got your turn back, you heal with his A2. So it's really interesting.
What do you
right now?
I guess so. Do you, the only thing, this is like, I'm not taking a knock at one of the best champions in the game on Warlord, but I've always had difficulty on a average account or above, well, whatever, not the end game accounts, is his base speed is like so low compared to the other lockouts at 100. So I guess the way you get around that, to your point, is the supersonic, right? And just building him as fast as possible with what you have.
The supersonic is like what makes him viable right now.
Okay.
Because he lacks in the base speed, and his decreased turn meet effect will be also countered by the Stone Skin on the other team if you're faster.
Yep.
So if you're faster to lock the enemy skills, you're just going to lock, but they still gonna have A1s and things like that, because the turn meet won't be affecting the Stone Skin champions. And if you're slower than your opponent, you lose half of the opportunity of him being good.
Okay.
By locking the enemy's skills because they already done it.
All right.
So you need him fast, but you won't have his full potential because of the Stone Skin that most of the opponents have right now.
All
so having the supersonic is an advantage for you to not having crazy amount of stats on speed and being able to play first.
Okay. Good call out. Who's your second favorite? I have one here, but who you got? Who's your number two?
I think I'm going here for Raka.
Okay, that's who I was gonna go with. I love it. It's cool again. Another opportunity to see a champion that was really kind of like a budget duchess in a lot of people's eyes for a while, right? And now she's really cool. Tell us why.
I like the versatility of her passive. At the same time, the continuous use help you to keep alive.
Yeah.
The turn meet boost every time she has a turn. It's interesting, really interesting, because she passively increase your team turn meter. What makes her very viable outside of the PvP and inside the PvP, because turn meet manipulation is really good at both stages of the game, PvP and PvE. That's what I like at her passive, but the best thing for me, it's the cleans bringing the increased damage. I think the cleans plus increased damage, it's really good on her. And the revive is like, okay, she needs to be more supportive that she's a red. So let's give her the revive also. But the turn meet and the cleans plus increased attack is what I really like on her.
I agree. Having that, it's weird. It's like you almost look at her kit and you're almost like, dude, why did I underrate her for so long? Like, it's a really unique blend, you know, like setting up your attack-based nukers, getting the nice shield. She has a great base speed of 109, you know, her heal, like the heal part of, I mean, the revive part of it rather is like, it's okay for turn 50-50, but the block debuffs you can just use whenever as well. Like that's handy. And that turn meter fill, like really cool. Chimera, she's being used a lot as well. Void affinity. So good call.
There is, you just told us the only thing that I dislike on her is her affinity. Because
you want the force.
Or force or anything. To have a color on a champion like this, she does not places any debuff or land any debuff from any skill. So affinity is not something that is going to be bad for her. At the same time, if she had an affinity to have a champion, or at least a 25% of the champion that she's facing, having 1/3 of their skills failing on her, it would be amazing. Because on Void, everything's going to be clean.
You know what? It's a good call out. You know, I feel like you're right. You're absolutely right to call that out because like I inherently value Void just in my head more in situations because of the versatility that they can bring when you bring them in. But you're right. Sometimes it's more valuable, especially when you have a lot of options, to have that strong condition. How would you build Raka?
2-turn Stone Skin. With a lot of resistance, I think is the best build for her. Not only for PvP, but you can also use that build on PvE. You don't need the Stone Skin, but the resistance is also good on her. Since she doesn't need the accuracy or something like that, survivability is the priority and speed. And resistance is really good for her to use her abilities because you need her to use them.
All right. Demonspawn time. Chugging along here, man. Who we got here as your fave in the Demonspawn?
Bro, I'm going to commit a crime here because I'm not going to pick Duchess.
Oh man, I had her up. I had her up and ready. Who you gonna go?
And my first pick here is going to be Commodus.
I forgot he was a support. but you're right. You're right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's a support champion.
Commodus, man. I hate this dude so much, bro. I hate him so much. I don't have him. He's just like, I know there's responses to him, but man, anyway, talk about it. You know what the thing is like you either need to plan your team around him in the arena or you need to ban him every time. He's one of those,
just having him is
Go on though. Why is he your favorite? Give us the lowdown.
Bro, he basically just being there is a red something that you need. Okay, he got a Commodus. Now I have to plan everything around my team just to face this champion. Because if he has a turn, either he locks me or he bombs me and I die. So he's a support with a so offensive presence that it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So how can I not pick him as the first choice as support, even knowing that he's not going to play the role of support most of the time, but he can if it's needed.
So I don't have him. I'm not lucky enough to have him, but I'm assuming you just built him with as much HP as humanly possible. And what else?
He needs 3 things only: HP to do damage, speed to play before your opponents, and accuracy to land the debuffs. Nothing else, but you need the pinpoint set on him.
Okay. All right.
And if you can use the Stone Skin, it's good because of his faction. Because this champion is affected by Taros passive, so you don't want him to be inferior.
Yeah. Even his base form, like it's weird. Like I have nightmares of explosive showstopper, and then they add the stun just for insult to injury to that ability, right? But like, so I have nightmares about that. But even on his base form, it's just like he's so busted. He's removing buffs. He's block active skills, controlling mythicals. He's stealing turn meter, putting the skills on cooldown. Like what the heck, man?
Bow before me or die.
Even his passive, the shield that he puts because he's an HP champion, it saves you. It saves you.
All right, enough about Commodus. What would you say Duchess is the other one?
No, I won't pick Duchess.
Okay.
That's something that is a crime because she's
it is a crime. Yes.
But
well, give us your favorite build on Duchess. Anyway,
Duchess,
9 piece per
2 turns of the Stone Skin,
for arena.
Baited. The same as Raka.
Okay. And
But
then for
she has
PvE,
an-
would you go 9 piece protection?
Nope.
Okay,
Same
what would
build.
you go?
No, on her is 9 piece of protection.
Okay.
Or PvE, sorry. I heard PvP, sorry.
Sorry, I probably said PvP. But yeah, but just for the 3 buffs on the A2 and whatnot.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
who are you gonna call out then, if not Duchess? Who is your?
The new champion,
Okay.
Lamas.
I don't have her yet, but she looks so cool. At first, I was kind of underwhelmed with the kit, but now I see the magic, especially in the new content. Talk about why you like her.
For people like me that does not have Shuzan, she's the budget version of Shuzan. With her A3 giving a champion 2 stacks of intercept, so you don't need pinpoint of the target of this skill, because she replaces the pinpoint with 2 stacks. Like her A2, it's 6 pieces of pinpoint on your champion. You're going to remove all the buffs from this champion, give him 2 stacks of intercept, filling the turn meat of this champion by 50%, and restoring, and restoring all his abilities, bro. It's like 4 amazing effects for just 1 skill. It's like, come on. This champion is the budget version of Shuzan. To say budget, not because she's
quite different too. Yeah, like she brings stuff. Yeah,
she's not bad. She's not worse than Shuzan.
And she has the decreased speed like Shuzan as well. You're right. Very, very cool champion. I can't wait to get her. Doesn't she look? She's like one of my favorite designs in the game, man. Doesn't she? Like, look at that sword, dude.
Yeah,
it matches
and
her tail.
If you put her, for example, like a Commodus, at her side, it's like unbelievable powerful. Because you
the
can
synergy.
give more stats to the Commodus and the trust on her turn meat and intercept buffs and the restore of the skills if you need to be powerful. And there is one more role. She is a disguised Yumeko.
A disguise Yumeko, you said?
Yeah, if you have another Yumeko, you can use her to be your second Yumeko into the double Yumeko trend team for a lot of content that
you're right. She has the White Dryad Naya ability, and more, right?
And more,
and quite a bit more on the icon of domination.
So
she's super fast to 115 base speed, so fastest in the game, or tied.
Yeah, and she has the speed out also. That's why she's the budget version of Shuzan.
With all due respect, what's your favorite build for her?
Full speed, just
full speed.
Go full speed and beyond.
All right, sounds
she
good,
can be
man.
your fastest champion on the account.
All right, moving on to Undead Horde. This one, I think I got it right on this one, but let's see who's your favorite. Who's the #1 support?
The blue lady.
Okay, it's Sifi. I got that one. You're not gonna disrespect Duchess and then come in and disrespect Sifi back to back, man. We're not gonna get you 8,000 subscribers if that's the case.
Yes, I think we cannot choose any other champion but Sifi here.
Okay,
she's absolutely amazing. Since her launch into the game, she was like nerfed 2 times already.
Yep.
And her husband 3 times.
Yep.
And they still a powerful couple.
Tell me something. We're familiar with Sifi, I'm sure most players. So tell us your favorite build, but also tell us maybe one of the more underrated parts of Sifi, in your opinion.
Right now, I won't play her full speed.
Okay.
Because I don't like the amount of turn meat she gives right now.
Yep.
And the danger that Supersonic puts for you to trust the turn meat boost of Sifi. So I prefer her fast, really fast, because she's good that way, but not the fastest you can. So I would go for her something like a set that can give you something besides the speed, like
protection or something.
Yeah, the set from the platinum. I forgot his name. Come on, I forgot.
Like
Swift Fairy.
Okay.
Swift Fairy set is like
Swift Fairy is cool because it's like a 4-piece, so it can synergize. You know, like it's a little bit of a comeback to kind of a forgotten set, right?
Yeah, and you still have the speed boost on the set. At the same time, you have the unkillable possibility, and it's a 4-piece set, so you can still have another set like Supersonic, Stormskin, or whatever you want on her. Two sets of speed. And not 2 sets of speed, but one set of speed and 2 pieces of pinpoint.
And if you're gonna Swift Parry anybody anyway, like it makes it so much more powerful to have someone who has a full turn meter on the revive, because you can really change. You know, because like sometimes you just don't have enough time with a Swift Parry save. It's like, okay, congratulations, you just lived one more turn. But one more turn on a Sifi can be everything. You know?
Yeah, might save the battle. You can bring Rotos full turn meter with attack up and bro.
Right? Why can't I see the Swift Parry set bonuses? Yeah, so you 18% speed, 30% crit damage, not bad, and then the 50% unkillable. I forgot what the speed was for a moment ago. Okay, so Sifi, and obviously that A1 is like low key, the best control, right? And like
you can
find
her A1 is like probably the best skill on her.
Yeah. Well, just that alone says a lot, right? About an already amazing champion, that the A1 might be the best skill. Who's your number 2 in Undead Horde, man?
I think we need to make a team here that it's Honor Badel Khazara. Because
I like that. Bringing back BEK.
Yeah, because he done so much for the old players. And he still does. He's a champion that combos a lot with both 9 pieces of protection or 9 pieces of feral.
Yep.
He's one of the champions that can take the most out of these 2 sets in PvE content. At the same time, he's still a solo king for many content. Like, he can do a lot of dungeons, not the hard ones, but a lot of dungeons that are not hard, or at least not the level 10 of the hard.
Yep.
Solo. That I think it's worth putting him in the second place of the best supports of this faction.
I love that. I tried him out in Feral because Undead Horde was my only faction that I had Feral for a while. So he was my Feral dude that I could run in the full 9-piece, you know? So that was fun, but just the consistency of the buffs over the debuffs on the continuous heals, I switched him to Protection, but I agree with both those sets. I think that's a great call out. So good old Battle Khazar, huh?
Do you know who can you put in 9 Feral on this faction? Suzerain.
Oh, Feral. I'm sorry. I was thinking Protection. Who?
Suzerain Katon, the green affinity champion.
Yeah, because he's got the 4 debuffs there, huh?
Bro, he's really good. He has decreased speed, we can decrease defense, and if you need the heal reduction. So it's 4 debuffs for a champion. All of them are AoE.
Good call out. Good. I'm always looking for good Feral candidates, you know? Right now, the Owl is my favorite.
If you have an Hydra team with this champion, you can replace something like Lydia or a champion that would decrease defense and weaken for him, and you will get more damage if he's on 9 pieces of Feral.
Good call out, man. All right. Time to go to the Dark Elves, man. Who's your number 1 support? Man, this is a tough one. I forgot who's support and who's not, though, here out of the oh god. All right, I'm really curious to see who you go as number 1, man. There's a few options, right?
Bro, I think support, really support. I think the strongest here is the Blind Seer because of the revive only. Because the other champions here that are classified as support does not have at least active revive.
Bro, Blind Seer. You're going Blind Seer. I hate Blind Seer. Hey, I love that you went with her because I hate this champion. But okay, talk about why.
Bro, first of all, she has the base speed.
She has a base speed, 115 base speed.
Yeah, is a good enough base speed to be respected at least.
For sure. And she got a weak revive. But I agree with you on the A2 and the A1. You know, I'm sure that's going to be the highlight.
The really only condition to put her top 1 is the revive. because no other revive on this faction classified as support exists with an active skill. We have a revive on Lydia, but so many conditions to it to happen. So you can't call her a revive itself, but Blind Seer you can. And the block damage revive is a thing that might win some battles or might tune your team if you're doing, for example, Clan Boss or Hydra. That might keep your champions alive.
You know what bothers me about it though, man? It's like 0 turn meter. Like 35% HP and 0 turn meter, and all you get is block damage on a 5-turn cooldown for a Void Legendary.
She needs an update, bro.
She needs an update. Like, I hear you, because honestly, you're right. The speed's there. She got the triple hitter, decreased turn meter. Like, there's a lot to like about her, but man, she just needs a buff. If anything, just to that revive, right?
Bro, this skill should be 2 turns cooldown. She would 2 turns cooldown. It would be insane broken, but it would give another insane possibilities too.
Add it to the insane broken champions that are a dime a dozen nowadays.
Yeah,
right?
you can take away the AOE of the revive to not be totally broken. You make her like a Raglan. 2 turns cooldown with a lot of turn meter and block damage.
Yeah.
This champion would have a role in the game that she does have.
Okay, so who's your second out of Blind Seer as a traditional? I mean, that leaves the big battle of Mithrala and Lydia, right? So who do you prefer? I prefer Lydia over them. I mean, they're both insane, right? But like, I think Lydia is just next level.
I think we're gonna use Lydia more in many places in the game than we're going to use Mithrala. Both are insane.
Yeah, Mithrala, I like, it's not a shot at Mithrala, but you can find other cleansers and supports, but like to have that, just the A2 alone of Lydia, it's just like to get all that in one ability is just insane, man, you know?
Lydia is on the best teams on Hydra. She's on the best teams on Chimera. She's even on the best teams on Classic Arena. So she is a champion that can go through many things, and she's still one of the queens of fast cleaning waves through any dungeons. So you're gonna see her in so many teams of so many players that we could even get her in the first position here without being something that nobody would question. Because she's an amazing champion.
What is your favorite build on Lydia and Mithrala? And also, why do you think that Lydia or Mithrala just can't quite get to the top of the meta in the end game in live arena, you know?
Yeah, because
both of them have something very unique. Lydia with the passive, and Mithrala with the passive as well, including the resistance, you know?
Yeah. Lydia, because her main thing is to debuff. And right now, the debuffs of decreased defense and weaken is not something you really need.
No.
In this meta. You can kill champions without having them. So you don't need Lydia for that role. And outside that, what she can offer is that it's worth losing one champion position on your team. Probably the passive. But it's really risk to trust that passive that is not going to be an active thing or a thing that is easy to proc.
Yeah.
Or it's going to proc. You're going to need your opponent to have something for you to proc it.
Yep. And like we just talked about it, there's like 150 meta revivers, even Odin. And like, so like, it's like, yeah, I'll just revive the next turn. You know, like, is that, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. This turn, this revive that she prevents for happening might save you, but right now it's a lot to lose one spot of champion just for that. You can use other things to guarantee it.
Okay, so before we talk about Mithrala though, Lydia, I switched to protection for like Hydra on her, just because of the buffs. What's your favorite build though?
Pharaoh, 9 pieces of Pharaoh, not because of Hydra itself, because it's almost the same. 9 pieces of protection on 9 pieces of Pharaoh for Hydra, but for Chimera is the double of the damage.
Yeah. I'm one piece
And,
away in Dark Elves from getting my 9-piece Pharaoh. One piece.
Yeah, and she's a trial master, like 4 trials just by herself.
Good call out there. I mean, she was built for a Chimera. I'm so glad you can double use champions, right, in Chimera, because
We're the same
good old
build.
Lydia. Yeah. Mithrala, why? How about her in the end game? Why do you think? What's your favorite Mithrala build? And why don't you think she's just quite there?
My favorite Mithrala build is one that almost no player use. That's her in Provoke set.
Ooh, okay.
Brother, there is a player.
Provoke with the synergy of the petrification?
Yeah, there is a player that used that build, and I lost to him like 5 times because I forgot. He does that. And out of nowhere, there was an AoE of the Mithrala. I got provoked and I petrified it. And I didn't had 6-star polymorph blessing on my champions. She wouldn't polymorph if it's not a 6-star because of her passive.
You know what? Every video I have with you, bro, I get another video idea.
You smart. You very smart.
You know, like, so last time it was like, it sounds basic now in hindsight, but this is months and months ago. But you were like, Sun Wukong, 9-piece Merciless, you got to do it. And now this is going to be the Mithrala and Provoke. That's a really good call out.
She's very annoying. Very annoying. When you think, no, it's not something very powerful. Bro, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Because out of the sets that has special effects, the Provoke is the second highest one. It only has lower chance than the Sleep set. But the Sleep is not a really good thing to combo with her, but the Provoke it is.
Yeah.
Because of the petrification.
Yep.
At the same time, you're going to buff your team with that. And you're going to do
nasty. I like that.
all the same things at the same action without losing her power of using something like Stone Skin and Provoke, because you can. And you're still going to have a lot of resistance with that. So I think that's the most interesting build, and you can still use that build for contents like Hydra.
Yeah, true.
You know?
True. Okay, I love that. I'm gonna switch my build, man. I'm gonna switch my build. I love it. I can't wait to do a video on it. All right, nice Revenant. Moving right along. Who's your number 1?
Night Revenant.
Yes.
Bro, this faction has a lot of.
They have a lot of options. A lot of like kind of unsung heroes in here too.
Yeah.
Oof.
I want to go with Crixia. That seems obvious, like she's incredibly powerful, but I won't go with her. I will go with top 1 with Ancora.
Okay.
Because
I like this choice. Talk to us all about White Queen Ancora and why she's so amazing.
Yeah. Just by the possibility of her A1 refreshing your skills, I think is a really powerful A1. Her revive with the enough turn meat, that is good. And if you're using on Narcissus, the possibility of decreasing the turn meat and bring back the skills is like crazy synergy that you have to take in consideration if you're facing this couple. That if you kill Narcissus, you need to kill Ancora, because if she got a turn, you're gonna get destroyed. Because killing Narcissus when Ancora is out there, you might be accelerating Narcissus instead of that. And that's incredible. And the passive, bro.
Yeah, dude.
The buff, bringing the buffs, the debuffs to herself.
Yeah.
It's like incredibly powerful at the same time. If you have polymorph on her, it's so dangerous to debuff anybody, because you're gonna focus a champion that has polymorph, even don't wanting to do it. You know, that's like, bro, why? I lost so many battles because of that.
I agree with you, and I love that you called out all these not niche things, they're huge things that she does, but she does so much that sometimes you forget, or at least in the beginning, I forgot like half the things she did. I forget. I'm like, wait, why are their skills off cooldown? Like, she's got like cool elements of so many other very unique champions, like Grandok's A1, like Godseeker Aniri on the revive, and then that crazy passive. There's a lot to keep in mind when she's on the enemy team. And then she cleanses and has the turn meter fill. Like, it's just, she does a lot, you know?
Yeah, and at the same time, if you have her in a resistance build with the cleans and shield and strength, you can have a really, really, really good cleanser for your team, because she cleans, put shield, strength, and the turn meat, which is good. So a lot of things on one skill, and she also has the revive and the A1 at the same time, and the passive.
So favorite build, I'm dying on this one. Would you go 2-piece stone skin, 1-piece stone skin with righteous? What's your fave?
I think the best build for her is 2 pieces of stone skin. 2 turns of stone skin, so 6 pieces or more of stone skin. But she also works really well with bolster set and stone skin, because you can put Narcissus and be safe with the
You're not
bolster.
going to go against Narcissus. Yeah.
And you can also try another thing like immunity or Pharaoh and stone skin that works good for her to try to avoid the new bomb champions.
Okay,
it's really good.
All right, who's your second fave in Knights Revenant?
This faction has so many options.
I know, right?
I want to go with Creeks again. I will go with something really different. Carillon. Do you even remember that he exists?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay, I don't have him, so I do remember he exists. He got a buff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The most interesting thing about this champion, I just discovered it by facing him, that it's his possibility of being a turn meat booster. Really strong one. Really, really strong one. His A3 places freeze on all enemies and fully depletes the turn meat if...
Ooh.
Oh, sorry. Fully depletes the turn meat.
You get the freeze, all the 3 turn too. The freeze, the turn meter depletion, and the turn meter fill.
And if you don't freeze, that's the most interesting thing. If you don't freeze nobody, he becomes one of the best turn meat boosters. Because if you're facing a team with 4 stone skin, you're gonna get 40% of turn meat booster.
40% turn meter fill. My man has a 30% arena aura too, and he's got a 109 base speed. That's a very interesting call out there.
I faced one guy, that there is one guy using it in the top 50 of the arena, and it's a really interesting thing because he put his fastest gear on this champion.
Wow.
And he uses it as a main speed booster. Many people won't have like Shuzan, Lazarius, or on any other of these champions, and they have Carillon, and Carillon sitting there in the vault while he could be played.
That is a really cool call out, man. Plus, even if you know, you think they're gonna be running 4 stone skins and they're running 2, you're freezing and fully depleting their turn meter. like I'll take that too, right? And a 20% turn meter fill for your team.
Yeah, and he cannot be even your fastest champion, but he can be your second fastest champion.
Yeah.
So you can put pinpoint and very fast gear on him.
Very interesting. That's why I have you on, man, for call outs like that. I love that. All right, dwarf time, man. I think I know this one. Who you got?
Bro, I think right now we cannot put anybody but Senna here as the first one.
Yes, I'm in agreement with you on this one, man. She's so busted for Chimera because of the turn meter fill on everybody all the time, you know. But also the turn meter fill that she brings, the increased speed, the good revive. Why do you love her and how do you build her?
How I build her, if I'm going for Chimera, 9 pieces of
protection.
No doubt. But if you're going for Arena, all the speed you can, because she's a good speed booster. She was a champion that if you open a void shard and Senna came out of it, you would be sad.
Do a little dance. Oh, she before. Yeah.
You would be sad 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And now you really are hoping for getting her out of this void shard.
I pulled her like the week before we had a void 2x. I pulled her right before Chimera released. And I was like, I don't know about this champion. She seems pretty good, you know, whatever. But then Chimera dropped, and I was like, oh my God, I got so lucky, you know?
She's amazing for Chimera, but there are players, the same way Carillon is used by one player, there is another player that uses Senna as his main speed booster, and it's a very interesting champion to have as your fastest champion. She can do that role perfectly, and she's really dangerous with the revive. If you have strong A1 champions, while you're killing your champions and there is a Senna on the other team, you need to be careful in the order you kill the champions, because if she has the chance to revive and is a very dangerous nuker, you might lose the game while she revives.
It's good. It's an interesting dynamic that you just think about her in the context of clan boss and whatnot. But you're right, in the arena, that can be a massive threat. That A3.
Yeah, but right now, Chimera is the main source of her.
Okay. Who's numero dos here in the dwarf faction here? Not a lot to choose from.
I like the Portuguese.
No big deal.
I am in doubt here, entirely between Brogni and Molly, but I'm going for Molly.
Yeah, I love Molly.
Just because whoever faced the Hegemon era, used the Molly before.
That rowdy crowd coming in handy, right?
Yeah, long time ago, the level 1 Mollys dominated the arena. She was really strong level 1. Her passive is really interesting, both for PvE and PvP. She has the possibility of reviving a champion with block damage. That is good, but it's not incredible because it's not an AoE. But the 2 turns provoke, my friend, that's really strong.
Yeah.
On PvE more than PvP, because we don't have the guaranteed of the PvP that is going to work right now without getting polymorphed and many things. But provoke is a really interesting debuff to have in a 2 turns. When you're doing something like Cintranos and you can use Molly, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to clean it very easily, just because you have 2 turns of provoke many times during your run.
And I want to say she's the only provoke reviver in the game. I mean, I might be forgetting somebody, but I think she's the only one. So it's nice for Hydra to have a provoker also revive your team, right? So you can auto, and not worry about things going wrong.
She's amazing for Hydra. She's really good for dangerous content like dungeons and Doom Tower and things like that you have difficult going through the stages without clearing very fast. She's a champion that can be really helpful, and I think it's worth to call her number 2 here.
Okay. Even over Brogni's fallen off a little bit, huh? He's fallen off a little bit. All those changes to the Infinity teams and whatnot. He's still solid, but
in the Corpulent Cadaver era, Brogni would be even better than Senna.
He was the guy.
No doubt.
All right, Shadowkin, we're home stretch here. Home stretch. I want to go right to Yumeko, but I don't know if she's going to be your choice here.
No,
I think I know who the choice will be. But who you got?
Straight to Chuzen, bro. I think she's just phenomenal.
I was going to take Mikage. My bad. I was wrong.
Chuzen.
Okay.
She's just phenomenal. The possibilities this champion puts out there is like insane. You can just have so many options when you have a Chuzen that when you don't have her, you can't even think about them. If you don't have Lamasu also now.
Yep. The budget Chuzen.
Yeah, the budget Chuzen. Expensive version of Chuzen.
I'm sorry, I forgot to ask about Molly, your favorite build. My apologies.
I like her in Stone Skin, and if you're using her in PvE content, put her on bolster, because the shield and the healing, passive healing, will help a lot, since the provoke will make the champions give her some damage.
It's a good call out because she's one of those weird champions that you don't like. There's no obvious set that comes. You don't need her to be in a relentless or anything like that. She has a 2-turn provoke anyway, So good call out. Okay, my apologies. Back to Chuzen.
Chuzen is like, don't even bother of anything full speed. If you can put 18 sets of speed on her, put.
So all out speed, the best you got on your entire account, all goes to her. Speed sets. Only, right? Is there any reason that you would veer from speed sets?
If you use her on Hydra, you can use 9 pieces of protection. Okay. But anything but that, or Chimera, you should use your best speed gear on her. If you have her and any other champion, and they are close at speed, go for Shuzan.
Okay. How about somebody like me on my account? So I don't have an empowered or awakened Shuzan. I have Shuzan though. But I do have other options like Yumekos or Crixia, or like, I mean, it depends on what I need, right? But
if the difference of speed is not 10 plus, go for Shuzan.
Go Shuzan. All right.
Yeah.
And Shuzan is up there with Kamitas, by the way, for me, in terms of champions I don't like facing in the arena for the same reason, but different than Kamitas, because it's like, well, shoot, I got a banner and then deal with whatever else, because I know she's going to one-shot me or two-turn me, possibly, you know? Or,
if you have a Shuzan on the other side, you need to pay attention to her and everyone else, because everyone could have their turn instantly.
Exactly.
So it's really dangerous.
Okay, really, so Shuzan, number one, and the best speed gear that you have possible. Who's your number two here?
It's a hard choice because we have really amazing options here.
Indeed.
Even the newly reworked Gamoram.
Yeah, he's fun.
I need to go with Yumeko.
Okay.
The possibilities this champion have on PvP and PvE, mostly on PvE right now, I think she's amazing. She's the only champion that can refresh the skills and refresh herself if you have another one, or another champion that refreshes, and that possibility makes incredible compositions able to be done. And they
won't nerf it. We know that. We know that.
And her
they'll do everything else, but they won't change that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And the versatility of her builds, it's like something really interesting. As build for her, I do not go for the usual very fast or very precise. I prefer her on resistance. I think the best resistance gear on my account is on my Yumeko.
Interesting.
Because I want her as fast as resistance I can with some decent accuracy. Because if I'm facing Warlords, I love when people play Warlord against me.
You don't ban Warlord, and it's an easy Yumeko.
Yeah, I don't ban Warlord. My Yumeko go there, and if she's not banned, the Warlord is automatically denied from the game.
I love that.
Because I'm going to revert the table.
Yep.
The only thing that you might be worried it's Crixia. Because Crixia ignores resistance. No, they ignore resistance is the thing that annoys you. Because even with 1,000 resistance, the Crixia with 800 accuracy might debuff you.
Got you. Yeah.
Right now.
Okay, cool. And I love, even in situations, that's A2, it's so underrated. Even against like Bommel, you just like throw the bombs back on him. You know, I was like, it's a really nasty little. Yeah. Tell me, just because I have to ask on Lady Mikage, I'm sure she's in the conversation at least. What is your favorite Mikage build?
My Mikage is on Relentless and Stone Skin. I think it's a build that works really good for PvE and PvP. I use her most on PvE content.
Yes.
But I put her in the Stone Skin because with the same build, I can use her in the PvP without a doubt. Really good way of playing her. When you proc that Relentless, she's really dangerous. Really dangerous. You can remove everything and stun in the same turn, or you can have like a light attack, then you swap form and stun or remove the buffs. It's something incredible.
She's one of those champions that every one of her active skills or everything that she does, you know, can be lethal in the right situation. You know, there's no wasted abilities here in this kit whatsoever. I love that call out though. I love the Relentless on Mikage. All right, man, we finally reached the finish line here in Sylvan Watchers, and there's a lot of great choices here. I'm very curious who you're going to pick for the best of the best.
Bro, I think my first pick here, it's going to be our buddies.
Nah, I thought so.
Because it's not because she's a mythical, but it's because the complexity of her kit. If you bring her to the PvP contest, she's like one of the fastest champions in the game.
Yep. Base
speed. She has one of the best turn meat boosts in the game with a very decent aura. And at the same time, the same skill gives you increased attack and increased accuracy. That it's really, really strong when you're leaving the Bomba meta. At the same time, many champions that now have the possibility of doing damage with accuracy and something else. She's amazing with Carnage. Amazing. And not only that, because that's just one skill.
Yeah.
You got her A2 that is a debuff and revive on that with the possibility with petrification when heated. Amazingly
nasty.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even the
You
A1.
you have the A1 with blockative skills, and I lost so many battles because of that.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Neutralize mythicals right there. She's also so good in Chimera, man. Like I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I subbed her into my team, and I was like, it was a huge difference. I forgot who I put her in for, but it was insane.
She's like her kit is like 6 trials just by herself.
Yeah.
I think she's amazing.
In the arena, oh man, how do you decide which order to do things, right? You have so much that you can do. You can make a case for opening her up as a turn meter booster. You can make a case for going with a Verdant Rebirth and staying for a while in base form. You can make a case for going right to the taunt on the alternate form. How do you recommend getting the most out of her as it pertains to how you're going to build her? Because you only decide, Yeah.
When you have all the options, do you know how you're going to choose which is your fastest champion or how you're going to choose? You're going to focus on your gear, not in the champion. If you have all the possibilities or many options, it's like you said, I got Arbais, I got Shuzan, you got both. How do you decide who is your fastest gear it's going to be? You're going to look at the gear itself. If you have a better banner for her faction, make her the fastest champion on your account. She's amazing. If you have a better banner on Shuzan faction, make Shuzan the fastest champion on your account. Because they are amazing in that role without losing nothing to the other champion that is not going to be used for that role. At the same time, they have a lot of possibilities using the same build. You can still go first and you see, okay, if I speed boost, I'm going to do nothing. So I'm just going to try to remove and make my champions keep alive. I won't try to remove. I'm going to swap forms with our boss and put HP burn on them. I don't want to do that. I will try to put count.
Because that flexibility. Yeah.
So many possibilities with a single champion. That's why she needs to be number 1 on this faction.
Okay, so speed, if you're going to use her as your turn meter booster or your bomb setup, I imagine a lot of speed. What are your other faves for
Arbais build?
Yeah.
I think if you're not going to put her full speed, use her half resistance, half accuracy, a lot of survivability.
Okay.
Stone Skin, 1 turn at least. You need to put her in 1 turn at least of Storm Skin if you're not going to use her full speed. Because that's going to give you the possibility of having your turn. And when you have your turn, you might put another turn of Stone Skin or 2. And it's amazing. She's an amazing champion. And a very powerful Rotos counter.
Okay. Moving on. There's a big problem because there's I circled through 5 what I think legitimate S tier supports. So I almost want to go rapid fire unless you have one that you think stands out. So my 5 would be Elva, would be Estrid, would be Glaciad, would be Yeneska, and would be Grandoak. And I actually even think that actually she's not a support. Forget it. All right, so those would be my 5 in the conversation champions. First of all, do you agree with those 5? Do you feel like they're all in the same tier? Did I leave anybody out, or do you think there's somebody who doesn't belong there?
All of them are top tier. All of them are top tier. But
if I had to choose, it's not about me. It's about you. Go. Sorry, they're also unique too, right? It's tough to. Yeah. Right.
If I think about the general amount of players, many of them are going to have Elstrid, and she's amazing. She can be your fastest champion on your account and play the role of the speed booster. Amazing. She can be a damage dealer at the same time as a speed booster and a healer for Hydra and Chimera. Amazing champion for that. But because of Chimera, all these champions are almost in the S tier, same level. But I think Lakehead and Pydred right now, they stand out a little bit because of Hydra. Oh, sorry, Chimera. The Blackhead hit on Chimera is absolutely amazing, brother. Absolutely.
I don't have him, so I have not witnessed. Tell me about it.
Like, he has the increased attack.
Oh.
Already good with Perfect Veil. Already good, but other champions could do it. But he does that and the turn meat boost. No other champion will do that with the same skill. And the best thing about him is not that. It's because he can put increase in accuracy, increase defense, revive the champions if they are dead. And if they are not dead, he's going to get an extra turn.
So it's so nasty. Increase
accuracy, increase defense, increase attack.
And just keeps going back and forth
in the same turn.
Oof.
And he still got the power up in your damage with the passive.
And he's got he's fast. His base speed is very fast too for his kit.
Stats are incredible.
Yeah, man, I want this guy so bad. I don't know if I want him or Pharaoh more. Probably Pharaoh more. In this, he's not a support, but like those are my two guys actually that I don't have, and Emic. So I'm like, I don't know, man. I got a wish list pretty long here, but
if you're going for trials, Pharaoh is better. But if you're going for damage, Blackhead is a lot better.
Okay, all right. Who? Man, they're all okay. So, what's your favorite build on Blackhead?
9 pieces of protection. 9 pieces of protection. He's amazing.
Okay.
He's
favorite build on Estrid.
If you're going to use him on PvP, you're going to use the same build as Duchess. 2 turn of Stoneskin and a lot of resistance.
Okay. Favorite build on Estrid? I guess it depends, right, on just what you need.
Yeah. Basically, if you're going to use her hybrid between damage and something, you're going to put her in 9 pieces of Pharaoh with damage and speed at the same time. Because she's going to play a lot of roles by herself. She's the turn meat booster, she's the healer, she's the debuffer at the same time, and she will do all the things and still doing damage.
The best thing about her too is maybe not the best, but one of the best things about her is given her speed and the extra turn, you're looking at increased speed, increase attack, decrease speed, and weaken it with the turn meter filled, with almost 100% uptime. It never goes away because of the extra turn. That is the beauty. And I slept on her. I knew she was good when she was a fusion or whatever, but I didn't use her on my own account for whatever reason. Maybe it was hubris. I was just like, whatever. And then I started using her. And I'm like, man, she's next level. Because you can put her with I'm going to name a mythical, but in Tashiro. But anybody who brings a decreased defense, and suddenly she can bring the weekend. She can free up that slot of, I don't know. She's just so flexible, versatile.
And you cannot forget about the healing, bro. The healing.
I know. Amazing. You're right. And the healer. Yeah. Okay. Favorite build on... We didn't talk about Yuneska at all. Do you like her at all? How much do you like her?
I think she's an amazing champion with 9 pieces of Pharaoh or 9 pieces of protection. Both works really good.
Or cursed with the AoE maybe on the A1 or no?
Yeah. But right now, I think after the changes on Hydra, she's not at the same level as the others.
Okay.
I think she dropped a little bit. Before the Hydra nerf, I think she was above the others because the possibility she could bring to the Hydra teams. But
with the A1, correct?
The A1 plus the A2 plus the A3, everything was good on her. Even the passive was good because of the accuracy thing. Yep.
Okay, how about favorite build on Elva?
Elva, 2 turns of Stoneskin, I think is the most useful one for her. At the same time, really high resistance. She's a very interesting champion. If you're using her mainly for Chimera, 9 pieces of protection is better.
Yep. And Grand Oak.
This one, I think you can go full speed on him if you're using him on PvP, and 9 pieces of protection if you're using him on PvE content. And he's amazing on Chimera also. He can do so many things at the same time. And the RNG of the A1, it's even better. You don't even count of it, but he can do magic.
He really can, man. He's one of my faves. He just, to your point, you add in the ally attack, the heals, the restoration, that crazy A1, the turn meter fill, the cleanse, the increased speed, and then all the buffs that everybody needs every turn. You're just like, what? So, dude, Cruisin', we've had you for like almost 2 hours now, hour and a half. So thank you so much for being so generous with your time, your advice. Man, I hope we can get you to 8K subscribers, guys. Go ahead and give him some love. You've been here for a super long time and so generous again. I always learn so much when I have you on the channel. Any final thoughts before we finally let you go, man?
Brother, all these champions are funny to play.
Yeah.
So if you have them, invest in them. Do not put somebody in the vault just because someone told you to put it in the vault. Take a look at their kit, see if you have the possibilities to use it, and bring the funny over the opinion of the others. Test your champions. That's really interesting to do.
Indeed, man. Okay, we're gonna finally cap it there. Thanks for bringing again the great attitude and all the knowledge. Thank you guys for watching all the way till the end. And as always, take care, guys.